For being patient. This is the Webmaster Academy. I'm going to be talking about the running group template from Wix. Now, this is a great template if you have any kind of membership club or just any kind of interest group where you have events and you want people to go to a central website where they can find out the things that you do, figure out how to join the club, and register for special events. So once again, even though this is for running, this is for really anyone who wants to start a club, a group, or even a business and marketing group, or any kind of networking kind of group. This is a great template. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned. Welcome everyone to the Webmaster Academy. My name is Michael Wood. I'm the owner and chief web designer at Captivatum Multimedia and Web Design, and I'm going to be your tour guide through this Wix.com template for running groups. What we're going to do first, we're going to take a tour of the website, then we're going to jump and get under the hood and look at the back part of this so you'll know how to customize this template for your own club or group. Let's go and get started with the tour. So this starts off with a full screen photo, a very beautiful photo, running for the community. It's got a nice font here that's slightly at an angle. It might be in italics. You have the logo of the club right here at the top. It gets started, which is their call to action, and a down arrow. Another interesting feature about this site is this menu over here on the left, this red menu, and it has the social media icons off to the side. When we scroll through our website, first it has this parallax scrolling here. That red menu will stay with us the whole time. So that's a nice little side menu. And you notice there's no menu at the top. And a lot of people are used to seeing menu navigations at the top. Not in this case. All right, let's go ahead and scroll down then. Welcome to North Bay Running Club. So here's a few sentences about what you're about. And then they can read more. Upcoming events. So this is front and center. What are the things your club is doing? What things are your club starting to do? So here we have a when I hover the mouse, you could see the images slide up and give you more detail about the event. It's a great way to navigate because if they're really interested, their mouse will hover and they can see more of the details. But this gives them a good overview of your events. Scroll down, they can find out a way to join your club, and they can click on Find Out More to do that. Go down, we have lots of great images. This lists all the different sponsors. You don't have to have a sponsor, but if you do, this is a good place to have it. And then the contact or get in touch, join now. So there's a few places where they have the join now call to action. And then at the bottom is the copyright and web design information. And as we pointed out earlier, on the far left are the social media icons. All right, so that's the website. Let's see what else. It's pretty much a one-page design. Let's click on some of these links and see what happens. So on the About, let's go to Read More. And this goes to another page. Now you notice the page isn't listed in the menu navigation here on the left. If you click on these three lines, which designers like to call the hamburger button, then it does have the main pages here. And as you could see, the website faded to gray and the menu bar became much more prominent. I could press the X to collapse it or the hamburger bar to bring it up. This is really big, bold text, which is great for adapting to any kind of screen size. This site is really translates really well to mobile devices. And more than 50% of users are starting to access sites through mobile. So this is a very important part of design. In fact, some designers like to think of mobile first when they are setting up a website. On the About page, you can see you have more space here to talk about your club, and you always have that call to action to join the club. Just find out more. And this goes to the Train With Us page. If I go to the navigation, that jumps over to this training page, so they're both the same thing here. Train with us, talk about that. Here's an image of the training. And here's some training options. They can pay, you can make it free, or you can do any kind of personal coaching. So if you're interested in any of these options, they can click on this red arrow. If I click on the menu navigation, you could see the contact page is where that arrow jumped over to. Join our running club, and they could fill out the message right there, and it has your phone number and your email, and once again your social media icons are listed, but they're not really big. You know, the social media icons aren't big and in your face. They're just subdued, as if they were just another phone number or address. The people can fill out their name, email, and send a message to join your club. The webmaster will receive this message, and then you could take whatever steps you want to do, as you will have their name and their email. So this will definitely build your email list. You can also assign other people to your website as contributors if you want people to just manage the membership part of the site without having to touch the actual web design itself. I'm going to scroll down, and here you have more information about becoming a sponsor. That's really important. And then it has their location. And you notice on this menu, it uses the gray, black, and red are the colors. And that's one of the options you have. You could set the map up to look like an actual map, you know, with blue water, green mountains, or you could set it up to match the color palette of your site. So in this case, they went ahead and adjusted the map to match the colors. And you could see the main colors of the site are red, blue, and white. If you have a club and you have very specific colors, you'll want to adjust your color palette accordingly. Alright, so it's pretty simple. There are 5 pages on this site: the home page, about, the events page, training, and contact. Let's actually click on the events page, and you can see right here North Bay Running Club, and it's got a photo, and then it has the upcoming events in this sort of drop down calendar format. And that's really great for people who just want to see what the new events are and when they're happening. If they click on sign up, that will take them to an individual page that's created for each of those events. Yes, I'll be there. First name, last name, email, submit. You can even have them pay for your registration through the Wix backend, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. So it's some great things going on this site. Plenty of information about the club, ways to join the club, and then there are ways to sign up for the different events. Before I jump into the back end where we can start customizing, let me just check the chat and see if there's any questions. All right, so far so good. If you like what you're seeing, remember to go ahead and like and subscribe, or give me a heart, and let me know what part of this web design you are enjoying right now. Just going to refresh the YouTube channel. There it is right there. Okay, make sure everybody's here. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about under the hood, and let's find out ways you can customize this site. So here I am. I'm in the Wix editor. I can change this background. There's lots of options. I mean, infinite options, really. And you could change the background to, I would not suggest a solid color or a pattern. It doesn't make as much sense. I guess if you are part of the banana club, this would make sense. So you can find a video that's going to work. And I did say video. We can put a full screen video background. Let's do a preview. So obviously this isn't for running. This would be for some kind of computer club. Now, what I suggest, if you want to go with the stock images just to give the viewer an idea of the sort of things that you do, that's completely fine. However, I do suggest, if you're going to go with video, that you want to get as authentic as possible. Right here, I'm just going to switch out the picture with some of the thousands of Wix images that are available to you. I haven't quite chosen a theme yet. Let's just say it's like a networking kind of club, so I could put, you know, business type of pictures here. And you could change the text and the call to action. And I wouldn't change the button because that's already set up for you. If I click on preview, if you click on this button, the down arrow, it'll automatically scroll the page. Now how it did that was it was using anchors. Here's an anchor. You could see the little picture of the anchor. And instead of jumping to a page, anchors help the user jump to a specific place on that page. So it's a great way to get the user to scroll down if you have a long page. And in this case, the home page is pretty long. So we used anchors. If you want to know more about how to build navigation using anchors, check out my video on navigating with anchors. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. This is a strip, so you can easily change the background into a video or a photo or just a simple color to match whatever it is you're doing. So this is business, so I just changed it to kind of a city. And now you can't see the text. So go to change strip background. I will click on settings. And what I could do here is just simply put a color. Let's say we'll go with white. And if I turn the opacity to 0, you could see the text is much more readable. So then once we have that standard, we could kind of slowly fade in that image. Just enough so we could still see the text. So here you have some business guys and a city of the business. A city the business might be in. Now for the upcoming events, the way you update or customize this is by going into the Wix Event Manager. So I can go into settings and I could change the look of this this layout here. I won't be able to because this is a demonstration, but I would just create my first event and then you'll have more options to customize everything from the color of the buttons and text to how we lay out the pictures. That would be in settings. If I go to manage event, that will take us to the Wix Dashboard. On the Wix Dashboard, this is where you would create your events. You can have the title, you can add an image, you can determine the time and the location, and you can have a brief description about the events. If you want to know more about how to use Wix Events and how to make both paid and free events, check out my video at the Webmaster Academy on Wix Events. There's just no time in the scope of this video to cover the details of how to set that up. But you will manage these events through the Wix Event Manager. And what's good about that is you can make changes to the events without having to go into the editor and start playing around with layout and buttons and colors. once you have your initial design set up, then all you need to do is go to Wix Events and update the events, and the website will be automatically updated. You can also get a contributor to your site, and the contributor can focus on the events and will not have to log in and mess with your beautiful design. So that's how you fix the Wix Events page. And then there's the Join Our Running Club. I'm going to click on Find Out More so I could jump over to the contact information. So it says, hey, train with us. Here's some options. Click on the red arrow. Let's go into our editor. We can change the text. We can add more text here. And we can change the contact form. And by clicking on Settings, we can then pick up to 2 people where this message will be sent to. Usually you'll want to send it to the person who will be obviously respond to the messages, but you might also want to CC these messages to your webmaster so your webmaster can make sure that those messages are in fact going through. You of course can change the layouts, the various layouts of this messenger here, just whatever suits you. This is a strip, so we can make changes to this strip right here. I'm going to click on preview. Sometimes the editor can act up, so you just need to go into the preview. There we go. Now we can see our settings. We can add a first and a secondary email. We can also change the layout of that, and we can change the design. So if you want to just add some color to that, just select whichever picture looks right to you. You can make it more contemporary. We can also adjust the colors by clicking on Customize Design. So that's the basics of the sign up field. And people are wondering, what happens when they fill out this information? When someone fills out the contact form, whoever you listed as the email addresses will receive the message. You'll get their name, their email, and the message. They will also be added to a list of contacts on the Wix backend. If you want to know more about how to manage those contacts and what to do with them, then check out the Webmaster Academy course on contact management. Okay, so here are the sponsors if people want to become a sponsor. This is another great place to put a form. Now I want to show you this map. I talked about this earlier. This map uses the color palette of the website. And I wanted to show you, if I click on design, you have not really infinite choices, but you do have a good amount. So if you want the good old-fashioned satellite terrain, or you just want to show the streets, whatever really matters for your business. You can pick some of these more three-dimensional pictures. Some of these are a little more artistic. Again, you'll pick the colors that match the palette of your site. But I wanted you to see there's lots of options here for the map design. And then to change the location, that's where you can click on settings. You'd go ahead and put a new address right here and put a description, and the Google map will automatically change. All right, you have your contact information here. So this is pretty much how to customize it. The contact form, use Wix Events for the events, and just click on any of these images. So I'll say here, change image, and you're going to want to use an image that fits your brand or business or service. So if I just fill it with sort of these more businessy type of pictures, that would make a little more sense for, like a marketing kind of group. There we go. So that's a great image to talk about marketing. All right, so that is how you change it. And if you don't like all this white, feel free to change the colors. Just go into the strip background and change to whatever colors you want. I would suggest you don't use too many videos, as it does affect load time. Only use a video if it's strategic, and you feel like it's going to add a lot to your page. But in this case, all I have is these simple little bubbles. They look, going across the screen. I mean, they look fine. I don't know if you necessarily need it. It is the only video on this page, so it shouldn't slow it down too much. But I would stay away from video unless you're very deliberate and strategic about what video you're showing and why. Alright, let me just check to see if there's any questions at this time. Everything looks good right here. Alright, once again, if you do like this, go ahead and give me a depending on which platform you're using, a thumbs up, happy face, a heart, any of those would be great. I like to know what content you're finding interesting so I could do more of that. Alright, so once again, this is the running group template from Wix. Be sure to customize it to meet your own needs. Thank you for your time, everybody. I'll see you next time at the Webmaster Academy. And if you want to know more about how to build a website from concept and pen and paper all the way to automation, then check us out at www.webmasteracademy.online. Don't forget to subscribe, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.